they've got their mask on like we have to have. I don't know why they can't come out with their mask on too.
We are value as well. We are your people. Look out for us.
We've seen an escalation in COVID
Of
cases
the COVID, yeah.
in the last couple of, say the last 2 months. We have seen an escalation in deaths
Yeah.
and infections.
Well, so
And
in
it's
the
not-
United States, though, we've got a big abundance of the COVID breaking out also. And we're allowed to go out as long as we have our mask on. So I don't know why Jamaicans can't come out without their, as long as they've got their mask on, like we do in the United States.
It has created some controversy here
Yeah.
among the locals who believe that it is unfair.
It is unfair. They should be able to come out.
What's your experience now, given that there is no locals for you to mingle with? Is it a different experience?
Yes. It looks like
Also,
it's a ghost town now.
does that take away the fun though?
No, I mean, you don't have the people cheering around or walking around and greeting you like you usually do.
Uh-huh.
I mean, yes, you got the people that are at the stores, but you don't have the ones that are walking in the streets greeting you like I have before when I've been here.
And do you miss that?
Yes, yes.
What about it you like?
Just the friendliness of everybody here. I do miss that.
It's been a while. We haven't even received a guest. Not literally, not even to say I, nor Odie. We can't even get the presentation of our stuff, meaning like literally we are the maker, we are the founder of craft. And when you look at it, we only be past buyers. The Indians get the preference. The other facilities get the preference. When we are the founder and we can't even look, not even see of a guest. Imagine we're here, it's been 2 cruise ships now since the pandemic, 3 ships. And right now we haven't even seen a guest. Visuality, you can look right around, it's the same thing. See, I'm closing right now. Because there it is. We come out this morning, nothing. The past couple, next 2 ships that pass is the same thing, nothing. When other prices just getting the benefit of it, when we are the founder. I think it really need to get in consideration. The government need to address this point. We do as the process goes, we do all the necessities, we do all the protocols, we follow everything, we do the tests, everything there stated, vaccine, who don't take vaccine, gotta do the swab, representation of our stuffs, and yet still this is it. We only going out, you have person cannot even afford it, but basically just because the ship coming in, they go and pay their funding of getting swabbed. Just to approve that they are following the protocol of the government. And honestly speaking, it's really inappropriate for us to just come and just sit like this, wasting where there's no money. We can't receive nothing at all. And yet still we are spending just to follow the protocol the same way. We have to be sanitized, we have to do our protocol, follow, use our uniform, as they say, going around orientation and say, well. But it's not benefiting us. Definitely not. And the persons who's being past buyers, because that's what I categorize as Indians and Chinese and Mexican. They are past buyers because they don't invest back in the country. You understand? We are the one that pay tax. We pay all those revenues. We have to build the country because this is our background. This is what we live off. This is what we're born in. But yet still we can't benefit from it.
The process that the corridor entails was a system that included the training, it included the design of how the system would work. There was a geographic zone that was limited in space, and it had a joint approach between the private sector and the public sector. And when I say the private sector, it was the entire tourism stakeholders, the hotels, the bus drivers, craft market vendors, attractions. It's a true collective approach to monitoring and managing, along with the TPD agency of Ministry of Tourism. So what it really was taking the MOH protocols, which work, and putting a system in place to manage and monitor that these protocols are working. Everybody leaving the corridor, all visitors on that come to stay in the hotels and go on the attractions, they're all tested before they go back to the United States. And we have maintained a positivity rate of under 1%. We had one period where it went to 1.17, and it has since maintained at 1% or below, which is really a proof that protocols work. Now, that's not to say that it's not important to vaccinate. But vaccination becomes a very powerful tool in the toolkit of protocols, which we all need to keep ourselves safe and to allow the continuity of business going forward. One of the things that we are coming to realize, and I'm certainly not a scientist, but by all information I'm hearing, is that we're going to be living with this thing for possibly another 2 years. So it's important for us to be looking and saying, how do we live with COVID going forward? And I don't see any way around not maintaining, monitoring, and enforcing the protocols going forward.
Pleasant good morning. Welcome back to JN News Channel, where all news are facts. Fire at Alexander Police Station. Inmates relocated. 10 inmates who were being held at the Alexandria Police Station in Senton have been relocated following a fire on Monday evening. It happens around 7 p.m. The fire, suspected to have been started by inmates, was confined to one cell at the station. No one was visible hurt, and there was minimal damage to the building. The inmates are now being housed at the Ochirias police lockup. Guns and ammo seized in Hermitage. The police have seized an illegal gun along with ammunition during an operation in the Hermitage community in St. Andrew on Sunday. They say cops were conducting a cordon and search operation in the area when a premises was searched and the weapon was found. It was identified as a Taurus 9mm pistol with 17 9mm rounds of ammunition. No one was arrested in the connection with the seizure. Investigations are ongoing. Opposition leader calls for increased police presence in Clarendon following the quadruple murder. The opposition is calling for the government to increase police presence in the violence-plagued area of Clarendon. The call followed a quadruplet murder in Havana Heights in the parish shortly after midnight on Sunday. The deceased are sisters Tashana and Sharon White, their 19-year-old nephew Luke Newman, and Sharona's partner Michael Salman, 25-year-old. Leader of the opposition and president of the People's National Party Mark Golding and another member of the PNP joined members of Parliament for Western Clarendon, Lohan Cousins, and visiting the family home where the murders occurred. Golding said Jamaica is in the worst of times, citing the COVID pandemic, the high cost of living, and the crime rate. He calls for the police to ramp up their presence in the area. We are calling for the Minister of National Security and Commissioner of Police to ensure that there's adequate security in this community, because the situation is one in a series that has been taking place, but a serious escalation and a change to the nature of the violence here, and it needs to be contained now so that the community can be freed of future trauma. Further grief. Golding criticized the leadership of the Prime Minister Andrew Holness and the government's handling of the country's crime problem. Cousins said it is unfortunate that such an act was carried out during a national curfew lockdown. It is quite unfortunate that the incidents of this nature are happening when we are supposed to have an increased police presence in the space due to the fact that there's a curfew and an all-island curfew which started minutes earlier, he said. This is really a tragedy, and we have to work together as a community, a country to ensure that we can sleep with our windows and doors open in the release sense that it is not the fleeting illusion to be pursued but never attained. PNP Senator and former Minister of National Security Peter Bunting said he was jolt by the gruesome attack. As a former Minister of National Security, I've been to many murder scenes, but it is a few that have shocked me as tragic as the scene we have heard today, said. According to Bunting, residents lamented that the police were late on the scene despite there being 2 police stations nearby. There have been a very flared up in the community. I am very disappointed that in time when the whole country is no movement, when the country and the community and the parish have been on curfew from 6 p.m. the previous evening, and in the community where there have been flare up of violence in the recent past, that there was no regular presence of security force that could have helped deter an incident like this, Bunting added. As at September 4, Clarendon has recorded a total of 63 murders, the same figure for the corresponding period last year. Shootings, however, have declined by 4% from 49 to 45. Continue to like, share, subscribe. This is Jamaica News Channel.